Patricia here, and today I'm joined by Jarvis from Wrekin Housing Group. Jean, do you want to just tell us a little bit about your role and what you're doing at Wrekin Housing Group, please?
Yeah, so I'm the Managing Director of Fuse Enterprise, which is now part of the Wrekin Housing Group. It's a social enterprise company that delivers some services. So we have clean cut services, which is a grounds maintenance, cleaning and environmental improvement company that now employs, we just employed our 13th person, and that's started as a very small social enterprise with 2 staff, and now, as I say, we've just taken on our 13th and we're turning over about $500,000 there, which is amazing. And that operates as social enterprise as part of the Wrekin Housing Group. We also set up and now manage the Northfield Centre, which is in Staffordshire and is part of the Northfield Village, which is a social enterprise hub that is delivers lots of different things. It's got shops in there, it provides volunteering opportunities. It's the heart of the Northfield Village, which is a care village with a dementia unit, an extra care facility, GP surgery, pharmacy, and tucked away in the background is a women's refuge. So it's at the heart of that. It's really doing well. It's in its 5th year. Lovely.
Sounds like you're very busy.
Yeah, so that's the practical stuff we do. Mm-hmm. And then my role is also leading on social investment. So the Wrekin Housing Group has taken the decision that it wants to embed a culture of social enterprise around the 2 main business streams, which are housing and care. Is this social value is wrapped around everything that we do. So my role is to make sure that happens.
Okay. So why did Wrekin Housing Group decide to look at social value? What made them want to do that?
So in 2013, the furniture scheme, Fuse, Revive became partners of the Wrekin Housing Group, and those were social enterprises, independent social enterprises. And we worked as partners of the Wrekin Housing Group for 5 years, until last year the group went into a complete restructure to look at how they had better governance. So they brought everything in. So we're now all part of the Wrekin Housing Group, but during those discussions, what they were looking at doing is delivering care, housing and social enterprise. And so they took the decision that was how they wanted to operate. So they wanted to operate as a housing association that delivered care, but had this culture of social enterprise that ran through it. So that's why.
Sounds amazing. I'm having known you for a number of years, and your background in social enterprise, I can imagine it's quite exciting to be involved in an organisation that's decided one of their strands of work as a housing association is actually social enterprise. It's probably quite unique.
Very. I can't tell you how excited I was when we actually got them to recognise that. So as we've restructured, we've now recognised in ourselves as a social business. So we have an amazing corporate social responsibility policy that is really, really good. And I use that when I'm talking to people about how we operate, because it really spells out our commitment to social enterprise, social business, social impact. So that is a fab document. And it is exciting because we've gone from, when we joined the Wrekin Housing Group in 2013, social enterprise was brand new. Very few people within the organisation knew what it was. And we've gone from that to recognising ourselves as a social enterprise, which is just amazing.
So it sounds quite simplistic in terms of 2013, no one knew about social enterprise, and now in 2019, the group is now saying it's a social enterprise. What was the journey like, and what's happened along the way in that 6-year period that's actually enabled that to happen?
Okay, I mean, in an organisation this size, the journey has been a slow and sometimes frustrating one. But I think my background in social enterprise has helped me with that, because it's never been an easy route to follow. The organisations that I set up in the early days, it took a lot of knocking on doors to get people to recognise what they were, recognise their value, and to grow them. So in a way, it's been a similar journey. I think that I felt it was really important that, so it was the board was saying this is what they wanted to be, senior management here, the executive team got that, but still there were lots of people within the organisation that didn't understand it, didn't know what social enterprise was. And I just thought how it was really important that we got that, sort of embedded that, so that we did some work with everybody. So we ran this through the whole organisation, so that we would get more and more people understanding what it was, wanting to be part of it. And so it has been a slow journey. My colleague and I, Sam Hine, who's our business project development manager, and I've come up with this amazing social investment strategy, which has taken us months and months and months to get approval for, but we've hung in there. I mean, with it going back to the board, eventually with some work with them, they've approved it, and it was approved only last week. So it's taken a long. You just have to keep. You have to hang in there. I mean, it really matters to me. This does. I think that to get an organisation this size to embrace social enterprise, to want to deliver social value, is worth all the effort. Because they will then be, they will make a big impact in the social enterprise world. So the work, the work and the frustration and the knockbacks, it's all worth it.
It sounds like you've just been tapping away gently on the door and being really persistent. You mentioned there about the board approving your social investment strategy just last week, so this is very a perfect time to have this conversation, really. So in terms of social value and how that features in the decision-making processes, is that very much just the board? How does it fit in with other decision-making across the organisation?
Absolutely. So we had a meeting last week as well to look at the strategic plan of the operation, and there's 7 pillars in that, and pillar number 2 is social value. So social value will wrap around every single thing we do. So my role is to be working at senior level. So when we're looking at any of the policies, the procedures that we do, all of them will look at that. So as I said about this corporate social responsibility policy is amazing, and then from that hang the procurement, the HR, all the other strategies come from that. So that is completely running through the whole organisation. It'll take some more work yet, and so as we're updating strategies, they'll be working with me and the team to look at how we make sure social value is included in that. And not just as a tick box, actually really working on it properly, so that when we're looking at procuring, we're looking at actually going in there at the very beginning of that process and talking to and working out what it actually is we want when we're procuring, and whether it's a contract for development or whether it's a product, that we actually think about it properly, how we want to do this. So yeah, no, it's a few weeks ago we had a business brief here, and I led on it, and we've got talking about how we procure, what we buy, what coffee we have here. We're running it completely through the organisation, using examples of simple social enterprises that really spell it out to people why you would want to buy from a social enterprise or buy social.
Wow, you've got a lot of work to do still. So in terms of your social value strategy, I love the sound of it, because I'm always talking to people about having not a strategy that actually is integrated with what they want to do around social value. So having a social strategy essentially, and it sounds as if you're really, really close and working quite deeply in that area. Have you got, in terms of that strategy, are there social value metrics? So things that you're going to measure in terms of perhaps the social value you want to create, how many social enterprises you want to develop, or how much you want to procure from social enterprises, those kind of things? Is there anything like that in there?
Yeah, so at that board meeting where they approved the strategy, the board had said they would like some metrics. So we've gone to them with a suggestion of the types of metrics that we think would measure, you know, what it is we wanted to deliver through the strategy. They are metrics that we can easily get the information for, so that we can, and they like them. We're going to come out of it with 6 headline metrics and quite a few other ones that sit below those. They want those to be reported to them through every board meeting. So they are very interested in how we measure that. And obviously it makes sense to have measurements that we can easily get the information for, and get that information to them for the board, you know, for quarterly board meetings. So yeah, we've got that all in place.
There's nothing you're not doing at the moment. You've also mentioned about social procurement. Now, I know that you're quite involved with Social Enterprise UK and their Buy Social campaign. So I imagine that this is a big chunk of what you're trying to do. You've talked about the coffee and different things. So is this going to be as much as possible bought socially, or are you also looking at local suppliers, or are the two kind of connected in that you want local social enterprises? And
yeah, we're looking at all of that, Heidi. So we recognise that we want to buy local as well as buy social. We recognise that there are companies that won't be able to supply on a small scale, which is fine. Mm-hmm. There'll be some things that we want to buy on a large scale, so we'll be looking at buying social but on a larger scale. Mm-hmm. We also want to buy from local businesses as well, so we understand that, you know, we may just buy 1 or 2 products from them and have them in certain places. Mm-hmm. So yeah, working with Social Enterprise UK, we now we've got an intranet here which runs across the group. So Fuse has got its own link on there, and we've also got a Buy Social link on the intranet too now. And these things like that thrill me. So when we get the logo on there, we've got a Buy Social tab on the intranet, and I've worked with Social Enterprise UK with that. So Liz Min, who's there, has given me the right links to go in there and the right wording to go with it, so that we're doing the right thing. So when people are saying to me, where can we procure whatever from, we want to buy, and they want to now buy from a social enterprise, Buy Social, they get that now. So they're coming to me and saying, where can we buy it from? And I'm thinking, what are they? So that's why we've got this. So we're looking into this, and we're working with social enterprise so that we can then, you know, I'm getting all this enthusiasm. I've got to then come up with the goods. So we're getting some links. We have got some links now so that people can start to do that. But there's work to be done there, because like I said, I'm getting all them enthusiastic and making them see why they should do that. Because we spend so much money here. We should be buying in a good way, buying socially, you know, and buying locally. We're pretty good at that though. And you know that because you work with us on our social value, our SROI, and the report to go with that. So you know that we're pretty good at buying locally and buying from local businesses anyway. I've been quite impressed with that, but you know, there's more that can be done, and I'm quite keen to buy from small local businesses as well and local social enterprises.
Do you see there's a role, as you said, one of the strands is around having social enterprise as well as housing and care. Whilst you're looking at all these products that you source, do you think that you'll potentially be setting up social enterprises to provide those products and services if they don't exist out there in the market already, or will you look at other people to do that?
That's further away, that is, but I really would like to do that. I would like to be able to build capacity within the social enterprise sector. And I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I think what I want to do first, before we get to that, is to embed a culture of social enterprise in this organisation. So what we're looking at, so I talked about Clean Cut Services, our grounds maintenance company. They absolutely love, they get that, they can see how that works, they really like the way it works. We deliver great services and a great value for money, as well as providing huge amounts of social value. What we're looking at within this group is what other services we can deliver in that way. So that is a big thing for me, to be able to do that. So if we can deliver more of the services with a social enterprise, in a social enterprise way, that's a really good thing to be doing. So we're looking at that, and we're working on that now. We're looking at where we source products from, and you know, all sorts of stuff. We've done away with plastics here, single-use plastics, and we're really working on that. And that is the next thing. That's further down the line for me, but I do want to do that. I want to either not necessarily set up social enterprises ourselves, but work with social enterprises that are there already to help them build capacity to be able to deliver the services that we want delivering, and to find the ones that are out there. So yeah, that is, but not quite yet.
Yeah, just trying to find out what your next stage is, you see, because I know from knowing you for so long, I know there's always a next step that's out in your mind, ready.
Yeah.
So something that we haven't mentioned yet is the which I know about because I've been doing some work with you around your impact measurement, is that you've got social impact champions. So what are social impact champions?
Okay, so,
and what do they do?
Well,
or what is the plan?
I said earlier that, you know, a lot of people in this organisation didn't understand what social enterprise, never heard of social enterprise, didn't know what it was, why should we be involved, you know. And so I thought the only way that we could do that is for people to better understand all levels within the organisation, so that you get this whole enthusiasm going through the organisation. I thought, well, you can only do that by recruiting some people and enthusing them and inspiring them and making them really understand what social enterprise was about. And initially I didn't know what else I was going to do with him apart from that. So working again with Sam. So Sam Hine, who I work with, says, I come up with the ideas, no job is to try and make them work. So I said, we need champions. And she said, what are they going to do? But we need to have champions that we can that understand about social enterprise. So if they understand about it, then they can talk to their colleagues about it. As people in the organisation understand about it and can start to spread the word and talk about it, and go away from meetings with us feeling enthusiastic and inspired and wanting to do more about it. So that's how we started. And we Sam said, how many people do you want? I said, well, at least 30. What, 30? We've got about 35 now, and they're coming, you know, so we start off with a handful and it's built, and people are asking if they can join, and we're still getting people joining in. And so their role is to be the eyes and ears, really. So they go away fully understanding what social enterprise is, why we should be delivering social value, looking at the social value we already deliver here. And that was one of the things I found when I first started talking to people, is that we've got some pockets of really good stuff going on, really great social value being delivered by a team. They know about it, nobody else does, you know. So it's about picking those things up, telling them to us, so that we can replicate that across the whole organisation, so that other tenants benefit from those services that team delivers, because somebody in that team just happens to have that expertise. So we also want them to, they're feeding case studies to us, they're telling us about good practice, they're talking to us about where things could be different, where they could add value. They're feeding into us now things they want to see change, and they're going to so we've trained them up, They understand about measuring. There's some in the champions that really want to get involved in that measuring. They're from all different parts of the organisation, from senior managers to reception, you know, a whole range of different people, so that you've got that rippling into the whole organisation from all different places. And we're now going to start taking some action. So the next meeting they come to, they're going to tell us what it is they want to see change, what they think they could do to make those changes. We're going to set up, we're in the process of setting up a forum so they can feed ideas into us, so that they can tell us what things they'd like to see happen, or ideas for stuff, and we can respond to that, so that they know that they're feeding into something where they can see something happen. So it's about this culture of change running through the organisation with those people in the middle of it all.
Wow, it sounds like utopia. It's like, I always say my vision is a world where all businesses are social enterprises. I think I need to come up and be in Wrekin Housing Group permanently, because it's like, it is all social enterprise.
I know, and that's my vision too, Heidi. I think all businesses should be social enterprises. Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
And if we can turn a big organisation like this, we turn over 70 million, we're a big organisation. If we can use our spend to buy social, to procure in the right way, that is a really good example for others to follow.
Definitely, that's why I'm interviewing you, because I want more people to start doing this, particularly housing associations, because you do have big budgets that you're spending, particularly on housing development, all the repairs and major works, as well as just running your day-to-day operations and services. There's so much that could actually be made more social. And also then there's the huge environmental impact and that
absolutely
comes from all of that as well.
Okay.
And all the work that you do with your customers and helping them to have better quality lives as well. So there's so much social value that ripples through all the different areas. So you've mentioned some of your plans about potentially capacity building other social enterprises. Any other plans around social value and social enterprise that you want to share at this time?
So I see this as quite a long game here to get this whole organisation, you know, operating in the way that you've just described, buying social, procuring socially, that, and looking at our way in our environmental impact too. And I'm looking at that, and we've just recruited some people that are interested in help us to do that too. So we've got an environmental action plan here that we're going to just start, we're going to have a look at, see where we are on it, and start to move forward again on that. So I see that it's all as a long game, that it's important to me to really do it properly, so the whole organisation absolutely is operating as a social business and with everything that it does, because I think that's important too, as the statement it makes, because as you say, for its customers, for its staff, for its everybody, its tenants, everybody that's involved with the organisation, but for the world, the impact it makes on the world with an organisation this size too. So that, to me, I think would be quite a big achievement, and I can see, you know, there's a way to go yet, but we're making good inroads into it. And that if we can build the social enterprise culture in the area and help other social enterprises to be able to deliver to us. And I mean, I quite like the cooperative models, you know, that, you know, where you've got your examples of Divine Chocolate and others that have that, you know, which means that you don't all have to be massive businesses, but that you can come together in a cooperative type approach, and you can bring this. So there's, you know, there's quite a bit of work to be done on that. So there's plenty to be keeping me busy.
What's your deadline for doing all that? Next year?
I'm giving myself a few years on this, Heidi.
Okay.
But I think it's a few years well invested to do this. And it's starting to get out there a bit what we're doing here. And housing associations don't typically shout about themselves, you know, they're not, they're quite low key, I find, you know, the world, that they're not like, look at us, look what we're doing, they're not. So but they do look at what others are doing and think, actually, you know, we could be doing that too. And we are getting that interest from other housing associations that would like to do more and need to know, you know, how we've done it.
Brilliant. So not only are you going to be sorting out Wrekin Housing Group and turning that all social, you're going to be doing every other housing association in the country, whilst also capacity building all the social enterprises and converting businesses to social enterprises. I think you'll probably have this nailed within a couple of years.
I might need a bigger team.
Yeah, you might do. Yes. Right. Well, thank you so much, Jean. It's been so nice talking to you today and finding out what you're up to as the MD of Fuse and also in your role across Wrekin Housing Group. So it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heidi.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.